Hare Krishna. So Krishna has elaborately spoken about Jnaya, or the object of knowledge. So he spoke about the spirit soul, and after that an elaborate description of the super soul. So they are the object of knowledge, and they are Kshetrajna, that is, knower of the field of activities. Now, after speaking about so much in detail about this transcendental knowledge, now Krishna is going to tell us who is qualified or who can understand whatever I have spoken till now. So let's see what's the qualification in Shloka number 19. Eti kshetram tatha jnanam jneyam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vignaya madbhavayopapadyate. So here Krishna is saying iti, thus. So after speaking about so many things, now he's saying thus. Kshetram tatha jnanam jneyam cha uktam samasatah. So kshetram, we know now, it's field of activities, the body, and jnanam, the knowledge that Krishna spoke from Shloka number 8 to 12, and jneyam, that is the knowable or the object of knowledge that we saw in the previous verses. So Krishna is saying here that uktam samasatah. So he has summarized all these topics, and now he is saying madbhakta, only my devotees, madbhakta etad vignaya, only my devotees can understand this thoroughly. And what will happen by that? Madbhavaya upapadyate, and thus they will attain the same nature as that of Krishna. That is, they will go back home, back to Godhead. So here it is very clear who is qualified. Who is qualified to understand all this knowledge that Krishna is giving? The devotees of Krishna. Only they are qualified. Some of the very nice points here which Prabhupada is mentioning. So Lord has described in summary the body, knowledge and knowable. So this knowledge is of three things. So what is the knowledge that we are talking about? First, the knower, the object of knowledge, that is knowable, and the process of knowing. So combined, these are called Vijnana, or the science of knowledge. So whenever we say what is science of knowledge, is to understand the Kshetra, Kshetrajya and Jnaya. So when we understand about the Kshetra, about the field of activities, Kshetrajya, the knower of the field of activities, and the object of knowledge, Jnaya, that is the individual soul and the super soul. So here it's very clear, Kshetrajya and this Jnaya, they are identical. This is what can be understood here or concluded here. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. So whenever it comes to this knowledge that Krishna is giving, it's pretty complicated. Obviously, by Prabhupada's mercy, it has become very simplified, and that's how we are able to discuss here in this forum. But this knowledge is very complicated. So who can understand? It's only the devotees of the Lord can understand. Why? Because the Lord gives intelligence for them to understand. Lord gives the clarity. Lord does whatever is needed for His devotees so that they can understand all this wonderful transcendental knowledge that Krishna is giving. And then here it is said, the monists or the impersonalists say that at the ultimate stage these three items become one, but the devotees do not accept this. How can it become one? Kshetra, Kshetrajya and the knowable, Jnaya, how can all of that become one? Matter is different, spirit is different. Spirit soul and super soul, they are different. So distinct. There's proper categorization in all the three. So there's no question of merging and mixing and all that. Not possible. And then here it is said that knowledge and development of knowledge mean understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. We are being led by the material consciousness, but as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything, then we attain real knowledge. So when we say that knowledge and the development of knowledge, basically the process, what is that basically? It's all about understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. That is, we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are servant of Krishna. This has to be understood. And here it's very nicely mentioned that when we transfer our consciousness, currently our consciousness is material. So when we transfer our consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything. So these 3 points are very important. Transferring our consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything, then we can say that we have attained real knowledge. Because finally, what is knowledge? Knowledge is something which can take us to higher realm, that is spiritual realm, or will take us back home, back to Godhead. That is knowledge. There is no use of information, of overload of information that we have in this world. What is important is that knowledge which takes us back home, back to Godhead. That is real knowledge. This is what is spoken here. So understanding about Krishna and trying to realize Krishna's different attributes like name, form, qualities and pastimes, that will actually enable one to go back home, back to Godhead. So that is called as real knowledge. And finally here it is said that knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. It is especially described here that only the unalloyed devotees of the Lord can understand these 3 items clearly. So for these devotees, Bhagavad Gita is fully useful. It is they who can attain the supreme goal, the nature of Supreme Lord Krishna. In other words, only devotees and not others can understand Bhagavad Gita and derive the desired result. See, when it comes to our material studies, I am sure in our childhood all of us have tried memorizing so many things. So many different formulas, so many different sentences and proverbs and so many things. We are by-hearted. So once we read, we don't understand. Again, we read it twice, thrice, 10 times, sometimes 20 times. Especially the math table that we had. 2 cross 1 equal to 2, 2 cross 2 equal to 2, 2 cross 2 equal to 4 and so on and so forth. So to memorize that table, multiplication table, so many times, students keep writing it and writing it, and one point of time they memorize also. So can we do the same thing here in spiritual life? We don't understand a verse and we read it 100 times and then we say that, no, I'll be able to understand it. Spiritual understanding or understanding of spiritual aspects is completely different or completely opposite to that of understanding the material aspects. Material aspects are jada. We just repeatedly keep hearing that or reading it. Maybe at one point of time we'll be able to memorize it and we will be able to understand it also. But then when it comes to spiritual aspects, that understanding only Krishna can give. And here Krishna is saying, who can get that knowledge? My devotees will get that knowledge. My devotees will be able to realize and understand whatever I've spoken. So it is very clear that many people read Bhagavad Gita. Many people, many scholars also read Bhagavad Gita. But then they are not able to understand. Max to max they get stuck in the grammar and the various meter and this and that. But the essence of Gita, no, not many can understand this. So it's very important that along with our reading of Bhagavad Gita, it's very important to do our sadhana also every single day. And sadhana, the prime thing in sadhana or the most important thing in sadhana is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. How much quality is our rounds? That will actually decide our understanding of Krishna consciousness, our understanding of the concepts of Bhagavad Gita. So whenever we are chanting, we have to make sure that somehow these rounds, which I am chanting, we are exclusively investing time every day. Every day, every devotee is exclusively investing time. All the ones who chant 16 rounds, 2 hours are invested every single day. So when you're investing time, now you have to analyze, I'm already investing time, I cannot do anything in this. Why not try to focus on the holy name? So let me chant every single word of the Mahamantra very clearly, distinctly. Let me pronounce it very nicely. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And let this transcendental vibration enter my ears. So when we are attentive in chanting and hearing, so what happens? Lord is pleased. Lord is pleased by this endeavor. Our heart is getting cleansed. And by all this, the resultant thing that will happen is, obviously, we become qualified to come back to Godhead. That is another thing. But before that, all these things which are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, it will become crystal clear. Currently, with contamination, when we actually read Bhagavad Gita, it's almost like a glass, and on that lot of dust is there, and Bhagavad Gita is there below. So now, when we start doing proper sadhana, proper chanting, offering intense prayers to Lord Krishna, it is almost like cleaning the glass, and then we can see the verses of Bhagavad Gita very clearly. Understanding will become very, very clear. So our practice is very, very important. Then we can actually get all the secrets of Bhagavad Gita very, very easily. All the secrets will be revealed to us. And whenever we read Bhagavad Gita, every single question that we get in our life, every single problem that we have in our life, everything will be answered. Solution will be given, because Bhagavad Gita has everything. Only thing is, we have to be qualified. And what is the qualification? Krishna is saying, my devotees. Devotional service, the ones who are doing devotional service, they are qualified to understand Bhagavad Gita. So now after speaking this, now Krishna is going to take us to another very, very important section. Very, very important section. A section which is going to deal with Prakriti now, material nature and the living entity and their interaction. And this particular section will be an eye-opener for all of us, which will make us realize that why we are stuck in this material world. So let's start this next section from the next video onwards. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna